But I'm not sure if you guys see the open. You do. Let's keep it this way. OK, hi. Very happy to be here. I'm Marta Adamczyk. I work as a technology evangelist at OnFinality. I'm a BD, DevRel person. I work a lot into education, and I'm here excited to tell you a bit of our experience, knowledge, tips and tricks that we know and we've gathered over the years while we are leading largest and oldest infrastructure provider in the Polkadot. So hopefully there will be a lot of value for you from this talk. So let's get down to it. Before I go into the tips and tricks, I want to tell you a bit more about OnFinality if you haven't heard of us. So a few words on this. So we are operating, working since 2019. We were actually an initial Web3 grant receiver. We are the largest, oldest infrastructure provider in Polkadot, and with that comes a lot of history, a lot of experience, but also a lot of responsibility. So we do care about the growth of our ecosystem. We do care about accelerating blockchain adoption, and we want to help builders build their project in a more efficient way and scale up faster. So that's why we are also here sharing the knowledge and experience. To tell you a bit more about our mission is that we want to help everybody scale up and build faster. We work closely with many parachain teams, with Parity, and we are commonly known as a provider of RPC endpoints, RPC access to archive nodes. We are based in New Zealand, but we also have offices in Singapore, Portugal, and we have data centers all over the world. So just a little bit of insight in what we are doing. So as I said, we are the largest provider in Polkadot. We actually support 68 networks currently, and you probably have stumbled upon us when looking through Polkadot.js. There is a lot of endpoints from us. But while Polkadot is our mother ecosystem, we also went beyond Polkadot, and we support other layer ones. And yeah, we believe the cross-chain is the future. That's why we want to provide this service as well. So we are operating currently at a huge scale. So in our lifetime, we had more than 350 requests in our lifetime, and daily 1 billion requests, JSON requests. So that's a huge scale, huge operation. And we've built OnFinality because we wanted to, we stumbled upon issues when running blockchain infrastructure ourselves. So this idea to build up this company grew from our own frustration and our own struggles. So we do understand what people are facing when building their own infrastructure and trying to run a node, trying to run a production RPC endpoint. And with that in mind, we have a lot of different products in our portfolio that could help you scale up and achieve your goals no matter where you are on your journey. If you're just testing the water, thinking about deploying a few nodes, or it's a testnet network that you are after, or this is you're working for a big network with millions of participants, we do have something for you to help you scale up, help you take some load from you, and make sure that what you can do, your whole focus and energy is spent on the end user, product, and value you're bringing. So one of the products is actually one-click node solution to allow you to run, deploy node, monitor in a fast and easy way. It's super dev-friendly. You don't need to worry about any hardware setup. And we also provide robust API insights. Another one, and this is the one that we are the most known of, is scalable API. So we do provide a lot of API services, and we help grow existing projects in Polkadot, and we help builders get data from different chains. And And we also provide powerful API insights for this product so that you know what requests people are making, where are they making them from, and what they're doing it for. And the last thing is the network prototyping suite. So this is a robust suite full with tools to help you do automated tests and scale your network. And this is dedicated for substrate-based networks. And we've been doing it already for years. We have a lot of great experience. We got a lot of great feedback. We've been privileged to work with amazing teams like OAK, Nodal, Akala. So that's also something we do. And then what has been our experience? What can we share today with you, given the fact that we spent so much time doing it? So the first thing would be that maybe it sounds a bit trivial, but blockchain infrastructure, running blockchain infrastructure is damn hard. This is a complex field of complex theoretical concepts. The pace of development is super fast. Me personally, I came to Web3 from Web2. I worked for many startups, and I was always complaining about the pace there. It's nothing to compare with pace in crypto. Like 1 year feels like 5 years. And the same goes with technology and initiatives and new projects emerging every day, every week, no matter bear market or not. This is crazy. So it's very hard to keep up with everything that's happening. It's very hard to be able to be on top of possible technologies and what's available. So we absolutely understand it. And at the same time, what we are doing is every mistake can be of high risk. So that's definitely a complex and hard issue. So you may think that running a node is a simple thing, but it's really not. It requires a lot of additional activities around running the node itself. So for sure, you need to monitor your node and make sure that you check its health constantly to be able to react fast to any issues. You need to have some alerting system settled to know when you're running out of CPU, when you're running out of memory, and react to it fast, of course. You do need to run backups. We recommend every 20 minutes, but that's also something that you need to do. And of course, enable blue-green development strategies. So have multiple environments. Make sure you control the traffic, and you are able to move it from one environment to another, and do the updates smoothly between them. And of course, building, maintaining Docker images and responded to changes, that's also something that you need to do. So that's a lot of things around that maybe someone doesn't think of when we talk about running a node. But let's forget about running a node. Let's think about running a production RPC endpoint. That is way more complex, as it offers a gateway for other builders to get their data, obtain data from blockchain. So this is even more complicated. What are we looking at is that we need some API key management here. We, of course, would like to implement some rate limiting, and with different rules based on API addresses, number of open WebSocket connections, the weights of the request, batching. Of course, we want to introduce intelligent routing to make sure that if someone is requesting wants to connect to a node, they will get a node which is the fastest and also, most importantly, the closest to this particular user. DNS management, of course, but on top of technological things, we also need to take care of other, like more of BD side and marketing things, like communicating with partners, do marketing, advertising, also billing and treasury proposals. This is a pain point and also something that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So definitely running such a big service is complicated. So running a single node involves a lot of additional tasks, that's for sure, but it's getting harder when we scale up. From one node to several, from running a node to running a production RPC endpoint. And also, on top of that, running sustainable infrastructure business and providing this service to others is a complicated challenge. And that's why we are here to actually be able to help you get over it and be able to move to work on your product or your end functionality. And don't worry about this if you can to save some time, money, and resources and be able to focus on your end users. So when we come to the tips and tricks and lessons we've learned and things that we think it would be good for you to know is that, first of all, Docker and Kubernetes are your friends, totally. This is thing that you should really implement if you're not using, because it's easy to use. It's supported by all the big cloud providers. It's easy to automate. You can run it everywhere. It's not. We understand that it's not very efficient cost-wise, but you save a lot of time using Docker, which means that at the end you're saving money. And on that note, what we want to share is please, please, please provide Docker images. Node operators will love you for that. Docker images that are created, maintained, updated by parachain teams are very safe to use, very easy to automate. And that would change a lot if this would be like by default thing to provide those Docker images. Another thing that we want to share is that take advantage of available tools. There is a lot of great analytics tools out there that could help you monitor what's happening in your network. They come filled with graphs, interactive dashboards, and also some alerting system, so you are able to get notified if something happens and react to it promptly. So connect Prometheus and Grafana to your node and take advantage of it. What you can monitor there is block height, block times, peers, CPU usage, memory usage, and of course a lot of data around requests. So definitely something that we recommend. I already mentioned it, that rate limiting is, it's hard, but it's also crucial and important to do that, to make sure that some malicious attackers are not able to overuse the system, make sure that our services are reliable and we control the traffic and everybody can access it. So, one indexer, it doesn't have to be a malicious attacker. It can be just one indexer heavily using a node that can kill a node and can cause some troubles for others who are being disconnected. And yes, one thing that one note, for instance, at OnFinality we decided, because Polkadot.js, they run a lot of health checks like constantly, and we've decided to actually exclude it from a rate limiting out of fairness, right? Because, and then if we want to share another tip, is to consider carefully latency and your regional presence. Latency is the indicator of the RPC performance. That's super important thing. And what you want to do is to choose your data centers wisely. It's great to have them in very exotic places, but you have to have them where your users are. So that's the most important part. This graph, this slide here comes from our application. We provide a great analytics tool that insights into your users' groups, so you can know where they are requesting from. This here shows states, Japan, and Germany. It's super common, actually, to have a lot of users from states, Europe, or Asia. So that's from our experience. And maybe a side note that also for the sake of centralization, sometimes it's good to avoid places where everybody has nodes, and also a lot of parachains have, like for instance AWS or Hetzner in Frankfurt, because it's good to have a greater coverage globally. And maybe if you already have something in Europe, think about Asia, think about states. Automatic scale up and scale down. What we do at OnFinality is we make sure that the number of machines we are using actually corresponds to the demand. So usually the traffic will fluctuate. It won't be like stable all the time. So we assess how many nodes we are going to use for a certain customer based on the number of traffic. And then you don't have to pay for the highest peak during the whole week, right? So that's That's the idea behind it. And now let's talk a little bit more about issues with HTTP. So spreading the load can cause some issues. And on this example, we see on the left side that we have an application that is asking about a certain block height. It's asking 1,000. This application wants to get 1,000 block height, and the answer is yes. This block height is on this node. But then another request comes, some data from this node, but it's going to be connected due to the load balance to another node. And this node here is out of sync. So it doesn't know that block 1000 actually exists. And this causes a lot of troubles. And this is one of the reasons why people prefer to use WebSockets. And what we do at OnFinality, we make sure that all nodes that are serving, that are available, are in sync. And we are also working on more detailed monitoring and analytics of our nodes, so we will be able to understand and know down to single block where our nodes are, because even if they're syncing, there might be some differences, right? One node can be a little bit behind, and we will be able to know exactly where they are, and based on that, be able to switch someone to another node. And then WebSocket also can come with some issues and some troubles. Using WebSocket can solve the issue that I told you previously. So we're asking the same question to a different node, and we get different answers. When we have open connection to WebSocket connection, we are talking to the same node, so that ensures that we will have answers that we need. But in this example on the left side, we see no issues, but on the right side, we see that WebSocket connection was established to the node that is actually on a high CPU, which means that it can cause some troubles. Maybe even this connection itself made the CPU this high. And the issue around that is that it can disconnect if we overuse or abuse a node using WebSocket connection and heavily working on that, we can cause issues for other users. So we can also cause issues for ourselves. And bottom line is that we are not using also the nodes that are like sitting here unused, pretty much idle, and we could use them. So one of the solutions that we want to introduce is actually to do a bit of load balancing for WebSocket. How it will work? We will assess if a certain request needs to go to the same WebSocket with same node or not necessarily. Like if we are asking, for instance, for the historic state, we don't need to be very focused on if all the nodes are in sync. But if the request either is we have a subscription or it's a block height sensitive request, we would need WebSocket connection. In Polkadot, we overuse slightly WebSocket. We have 80% of WebSocket to 20% of HTTP. So we ask you to consider if you would like to use WebSocket, or is it possible to do HTTP? And going fast, for migrating from one relay chain to another, we really ask you to make sure that you update your Polkadot version and keep it up to date, and also be in touch with your partners when you do migration, and do it in advance. Plan ahead. Very happy with our customers saying that we bring a lot of value and we help them get to know more about their users and also save some time and help to speed up the growth of ecosystem and ensure network stability. And just final words, we do run OnFinality startup program, so if you are coming from a new parachain team, get in touch with us. We help you scale up, we help you understand automated testing and share a lot of insights that we gathered over the years. We have a special offer for all the attendees at Polkadot Decoded. You can redeem the code in our application and get 3 months for free of our growth subscription. Does it include usage, just the subscription? And with that, I want to end. Thank you so much for your time. Let's stay in touch, be connected, and I hope we catch up here or later virtually. Hit me up on Telegram. Thank you so much.